dignitaries on the dais, and all of you who have come here for this function. I wish all of you great awareness and great health. When I was invited for this program, along with all the masters of the business, I had no clue what I will say and what I will do here, because I left my industry, maritime business, in 2012. After serving for more than 20 years. And many people said that's not a good idea. It's actually foolishness to leave something which you have built over time. And see, not about the stress or the associations connected to it, but it's more of the passion side, that you build up something. It's like nurturing a baby. And you build over a lifetime, and then at one point in time you feel that's not what I want to do, and this is not giving me happiness anymore. That's not easy to translate to people's minds. People won't understand. So, and another thing is that I'm entering into a phase or a place where nothing is tangible. The metaphysical is not a tangible thing. It's experience-oriented. And people think that it's escapism or something has happened and maybe you are on the wrong track. So while I was working in the maritime from 1990 onwards, I loved the job. I still love sailing. Even whenever I get any time, I like oceans. I still go. But the job part, the evolution of the work part, did not fascinate me anymore, because there is an evolution in everything. And at some point in time, you start feeling, what the hell am I doing here? You know, that happens to most people. And some people are afraid to leave it because they don't know what else. So fortunately for me, I had clarity, because I used to write about self-connection and also non-violence, and many people used to like it. One of the things which happened to me at that time, when I decided to finally leave the whole business activity, it was the realization that we are here only for about 30,000 days. See, when we count years, we sometimes do not know. Because we are 30, 40, 50, 60. But then when we start counting days and we realize so many days have already passed and we don't have too many days left, then the prioritization changes. It's really, it dawned into me, what am I doing? What I'm supposed to do? Then you realize the whole priority changes. What I want to do in the world from then onwards has to be something more meaningful, tangible, and also it should be transformative. So one of the activities which we started in 2003 was helping the helpless and serving food. And we do that in many countries now, 31 countries we do that. And we are expanding, extending, by automatically, not because I planned. I still don't plan. It's happening. And when I see, when I interacted with the esteemed guests here, when I spoke to them, the dynamism of the business, the adrenaline of it, I started remembering the times when I was doing the same. And it was quite a fascinating feeling, because I have not addressed any audience except a chamber or before, and some of the programs which are non-spiritual in London. I have not addressed any audience like yourself. So the whole idea was very fascinating for me. Now, when I was talking to Dilipji, he was talking about the generation gap part. Generation gap do exist and will exist, because every season is bringing forth a new dimension to our existence. See, when I think many of us who are of my age or slightly more senior would have seen a time when there was no technology of this kind. And today the new people are born in the technology and they talk a different language, which we don't or we may not understand. And things are shifting so fast, and to cope with it, it's very difficult. So once in a flight, there was one businessman next to me. I asked him, how do you cope? He said, I don't cope. I hire people. So this is probably the best solution I felt, because you can't handle something, don't worry about it, get people who can handle it, and thus grow the business. So the generation gap is definitely a a major factor, and the inherited business, people feel it more because on one side they have to keep the legacy, on the other side they have to cope with the shifting sands of business, the changing times. So this balancing act sometimes tilts people, gives tremendous stress and the craving for proving that they are worth it. So what I was doing, so I started as a sales executive in the business in maritime, and then in 10 years I was a CEO, head of the country, and then in a few years I was handling 5 countries. So high stress job. Oil tankers, oil business. So if you close your eyes for some time, the whole thing can change. So what I was practicing was, maybe it is applicable to you or not, maybe not, but I wanted to tell how I addressed that situation, where the ownership part, this I got from Shivaji Maharaj. You know, when Shivaji Maharaj's main guru was his mother. And one day mother asked him, this is the rough translation of what I know, so don't look at the word thing. Mother asked the son, why are you so stressed? Then he said, I have a whole country to manage. I have to run this country. Then he said, go to your guru and give him what you value most. So he went to Samarth Ramdas and handed over his country to him. He told him, I leave the country to you. So Samarth Ramdas is a Swami. What will he do with the country? He said, fine, I take it, now you run it. So what did he leave behind? Ownership. After that, Shivaji became invincible. People say this is because of the blessings of the Guru. It's actually shedding the ownership. The ownership part gives a lot of stress. I'm doing it all the time. And then a bit of detachment, that's what I used to practice when I had many countries to handle, and it was a continuous activity. You can't even sleep because somebody will be awake and they will call you, you can't keep your mobile off. So what I used to do is that I used to see myself doing it. That means you feel your spine. You know, that is the practice which I started practicing, and it started working. Because everything is happening, nothing is changing, but at the same time, the impact on you is much less. Much less. So clarity is not lost. And also, when you are watching yourself doing it, by just simply feeling, not meditating, I'm not talking about meditation, just simply feeling your spine while walking, while sitting, while doing something, you are just being aware that you have a spine. You know what happens then? We are all front-oriented, eyes, nose, ears, all the senses are towards the front, and we are motivated to move towards the front. But at some point in time, when you feel, I have a spine too, suddenly the shift starts happening, and you start seeing yourself seeing. You start hearing yourself hearing, and that eventually becomes your normal lifestyle or normal life, your pattern of existence. Then, when you are interacting with somebody, you will be completely objective. You are that person at that point in time, like a mirror. Like a mirror. When you go in front of the mirror mirrors you, and the mirror is completely you. When you go away, mirror is completely empty. That effect can come. So that you don't hold anything and keep anything and then take it home and react to your family just like that. So you leave things there at the desk, tidy it up, and then you go home and you are a different person. So every segment, every compartment of life will have its completion. So this is I'm not talking this as a meditation or a spiritual practice. This is a practical way of you can look at the world. Because the whole world we see outside is our own perception, how we see it, not as per the world as it is. We see the world only through our eyes. Another person sees the world through their eyes. So nobody sees truth. Everybody sees their viewpoint in the world. So in this whole madness, you got to be sane, right? How do you do that? When you are completely objective about it, you welcome everybody. There's no problem. So this also happened. I tell my people, many years ago I told them, see, a time will come when traveling will become difficult or expensive. So you need to be independent. We have activities in many countries, many continents. So you can't depend on me. One day Mohanji will die. How will you run the show? So this point I used to keep reminding them, because dependency is a curse. If you're dependent too much on something or somebody, your identity gets lost in some way. So you got to learn to be independent, because you are born alone, you will die alone, and in the bargain, in this life, between, as I said, 30,000 days, I said 82 years. 30,000 days is not a lot of time. You know, we think that we live forever. And many people build up things thinking that I can hand over to the next generation, etc. Look what's happening in the world today. In many countries, things are shifting. The times are changing things, and this will be continuous. So we got to be very clear about what are we doing, why are we doing, and what are we handing over to the next generation. Today, money was not a problem when I was working, so I can't complain. But today, I feel that money was not the main thing of those days, because money is only one part of it. I'm not saying that I'm against money. I respect every aspect of life. But money is not the whole thing. Contentment is everything, I feel. After all these years of working in the maritime, working in business, meeting with a lot of high-profile people of business world, I feel the contentment factor can never be compromised. The more you look at your own contentment, your satisfaction, you will start aligning yourself much more. And especially when you look at the world, and look at the world saying, nice world. I also have a space here. That's a big deal. And today my heart is beating. Tomorrow I don't know. So then our priorities change, and we will not be too much craving for things. We'll be happy that things are there, and we'll be enjoying it. And when it's time to go, bye-bye. This is what I felt, that after all these years of business life, I thought this is what is my take home. That business is good, things are good. If you're smart enough, you can forecast. And there are people who does excellent forecasting. So you can positioning business is not a problem in the world today, because there are so many ways, and even AI helps you to position your business. But what do you do with it? And why are you doing whatever you do about it? Because if you are not getting contentment, if you are having sleepless nights, and it's high stress, then think again, are you in the right place? Doing the right thing? That question has to happen. For me, it was very simple. Whatever money can buy was not giving me contentment anymore. And the call of the people, the call of the world was loud and clear for me. So that's why I created different platforms. Even the latest, the World Tribal Alliance, came from a thought. I was sitting in my space in Australia. It's surrounded by forest. So the forest department asked us to put controlled forest fire to safeguard the land. I refused. I said, there's so many animals staying there. I can't kill them. So I said, I refuse to do that. It's the side of the river. So somebody has done that before. Before we bought that land, we can see the burnt trees. So I refused to do. Then I was thinking, what do these aborigines do? The tribal people, they live in the forest. We work with Amazon tribes in Amazon forest, Peruvian jungles, Colombian forests. We work with them since long time. So what do? They don't set fire to the forest. They don't set fire anywhere. And that's the thought which brought me to the idea of uniting the indigenous people of the world, that we later registered in London. And we had a great program in Cape Town last year with the government. So the minister asked me, why WTA? I said one word, preservation. What are you preserving? I said culture and nature. Third thing, he said, we are with you. And then they supported wholeheartedly, and we had a great function. We brought people from Hawaii and from New Zealand, north, south, east, west, from the Arctic Circle, Norway, Sweden, Russia. Everybody came to Cape Town, to the feet of, or close to the Antarctica, and that was a great function. And in that function, I said one thing: don't worry about your past anymore, because we are all talking about the injuries of the past, and don't reopen the wounds. All of us have gone through our pains, our frustrations. Now we'll start looking at what we can do in the rest of our life. So one of the things is that we need to live today. Past is finished. You can take examples from the past, information from the past, but past is not you right now. Past has created you, but past is not you. And the present, that this time, this is the only time. Future, we don't know. As we were talking earlier, the American system is now challenging the world order. The diplomacy has changed. The thoughts have changed. Discussions have changed. Understanding, awareness, coalitions have changed. Will change further. Again, it will change. The prediction is that by 29, 30, 31, there will be a situation such as Kurukshetra. That's what's build-up is going to be. Somebody will join somebody, polarization will happen, many countries may come together, everybody's stressed now because of the Hormuz. And Hormuz never belonged to Iran, but because of the situation, they took it over. And I've sailed through the Hormuz many times, beautiful place. But what I'm saying is, world order is changing, and nobody can stop it, nobody can rewind it. It will happen as it is, but we can do quite a lot of things individually. And I feel